You know, the last time we left here, what happened to us? I was given an offer.
To do what?
To do what?
I don't know if I should say it publicly.
Well, let's go. That's why we're here.
Situation room.
My sister, there is money outside here. We left here, we went, I've been called by members of parliament, and I'm saying it publicly with proof. I've been sent messages by senators with proof. We've been sent messages by top lawyers with proof. People come and say, we want to buy your project. Then you sit down and wonder, they give you a very nice value because you are young, and normally when you are young, most of us, the only thing we want is money. And then you sit and wonder, why would you give me 200 million?
Oh, wow.
Why?
Okay.
Why would you do it? We are not here to sell our project. We are just saying, yes, we understand there is a value add to it, but that's not the reason why we are doing what we are doing. And then you realize all of a sudden someone wants to buy. If you ask them the reason, they buy to kill it.
Oh, so they buy, to essentially to
the whole
put out
concept is
the
to put out they buy it from you, you're no longer able to access it, then they kill the whole idea. You know why? Think about it this way. How many papers are being imported during voting? Cartels.
I mean,
ink, just to ink the little finger. Cartel. Just think about the whole structure where we can reduce. Previously, we were looking at around 40-something billion. John Buddy, which I think I just met him on the corridor
yes, he
here.
just left here.
It has now pushed in his view to 61.7 billion. What we are saying is that, and by the way, the system that we are using, the first point of it is actually what's even taking a little bit of more money. As you keep going, the things that you bought are the same things you are going to be using. So the more we do more more election, when we come to an electioneering period, the amount of even what you are using reduces, unlike what we are having in Kenya, where the amount does what? Increases. We need to take this matter very seriously, because it might become a different trajectory for 2027. If we want to make sure that lives are not lost, I'm talking to the leaders, do the right thing.
We did see this, and there's a reason why it talks about the by-elections that took place. That if we didn't realize that the ruckus or the fracas that we saw in different polling stations was because of this thing, that there is a vote that has been cast that folks feel as though they need to protect. So that's why we saw members of parliament, governors, senators, the deputy president, cabinet secretaries going to polling stations, in as well as ordinary, if we can say, as well as Kenyans going to polling stations to protect the vote. So, John, what you're telling us then with this system is that there's no need for that.
There is no need for that.
There's a foolproof system whereby you cast your vote. You can actually do what Cabinet Secretary Murkomen said, where you can cast your vote and you can go home.
You can go home.
You don't need to be in this area. So if that's the case, and as you say, it makes sense, why wouldn't we want to embrace it?
After we met the IEBC chair, we pitched the whole idea. He embraced the idea. The second part of it was that we were supposed to be given an opportunity to table it before Parliament. So now that's what we're actually waiting for them to give us a date. And I challenge our parliamentarians, if you really have nothing to hide, give us a date to show you what we have. Just attempt it. And then for another reason, we've created something called a list of shame. The Article 81 of the Constitution, because again, young people, we don't just do things. We need to look at what the law says about it. Article 81 of the Constitution and Article 83 of the Constitution allows us to play around, gives an opportunity for what you call, it gives an opportunity for us to use technology around the voting system. Just go and read Article 81 of the Constitution and Article 83 of the Constitution. So we are not just speaking, haphazardly, just like we came from the streets. No, we understand what the Constitution gives, the leverage the Constitution gives towards us building systems that can be able to afford us those kind of realities. So when you look at it from that point of view, why would a whole sitting cabinet minister that's supposed to be serving the whole nation, what is his interest in a seat, in a member of parliament seat? I mean, you're not even supposed to be anywhere there. What is a deputy president literally doing? Think about how much money they spent. I actually heard that approximately, it was approximately 600 million. Now, let me ask you a question. Think about this with me. Either me, I have a problem, or our leaders have a problem. And we all know who has a problem. Why are you, if there's 600 million you're spending, right? This seat, how much money is this MP going to be paid per month? approximately, is it 700,000 or whatever? Then look at
plus
15
allowances,
plus allowances.
Give or take $1 million.
Take $1 million, right? Okay, let's assume so in 12 months, that's how much? That's 12 million, right? So in 5 years, how much is he looking at?
60.
Around 60 million approximately. Let's even be courteous enough and add another 10 million.
Yeah.
So that's around 70 million. Why would you spend, business-wise, why would you be spending 600 million to get 70 million in return? I mean, the law of demand and supply, it already tells you that's not even something, you're already going at a loss. That means there is something they are going for. So the question would be, the amount of time you wasted going on the streets, if we had a blockchain system, something that is more secure, our members of parliament and our governors will be working. The amount of money you have used, we would not need to use that, because then it's cheaper. And by there, I need to say this. In Kenya, I did the statistics. Kenya is approximately top 3 most expensive nations to run an election. I mean, you need like 100 million to become a member of parliament.
Yes.
Now they have even done 600 million. So I'm wondering, if a member of parliament is spending 600 million, how much are we looking about for you to be re-elected as a president? You get what I'm saying? How much money are you looking at? I'm even assuming it's beyond, because now they are already doing it on ground CG, and they're hiding it in terms of empowerment.
And where does the money come from?
That's the question I'm looking at. And then number 2, you are going to spend this money on who? What would 600 million had done apart from electing a member of parliament? Of course, I know he goes to represent the interests of the people. But what would that 600 million have done? Assuming you brought that 600 million to that community. Let's build go-downs. I mean, let's build, what is this community? What do you do? We farm chickens, we farm what? Build a whole ecosystem around them. You would have employed approximately 500-600 people rather than taking one person to parliament. It doesn't make sense to me.
You know, John, you just mentioned about 36 shillings, right? So that we're spending a vote. And if you just use 22 million registered voters, how much we would be spending, that comes to 792 million shillings. If you talk about 2,300 shillings, assuming per vote, and if you multiply that by
22 million,
you get to 50 billion 600 million.
Why would you spend? Look, so what is the reason why you deny our system? That means it's a whole cartel system. And by the way, it's not once. The first time I came out with this issue, I don't know if it's professional to say it online. I'll try to hide, most important, I won't say the names. But the first time before I came here, I have a program called State of the Nation where I address every Thursday. As I'm leaving my office, my car gets shot at.
Shot at?
Yes. How do you explain it? After speaking about this thing, we came, I brought a whole group of people, we built a system. And by the way, we are going to show you practically, because it's here, so I hope we'll be able. My car gets shot at. Then the question I would ask, what are we really hiding? Why would you spend 60 billion over something you can spend 2-3 billion or whatever, or 10 billion or 700 million? Let me ask you, what are you hiding? So that's why we built a list of shame. And as we present it, we'll be able to say, anyone that does not take this system, we want the people that the member of parliament is representing to answer his people. Why would you prefer to use 61.7 billion? Oh, and I've already had someone asking a question. Let me say in the spirit. Which country? You know, that's what we like doing.
Has used
Which
it
country?
before.
Okay, okay. Why should we wait for countries to use it? M-Pesa, which country had used it before? Which is the biggest money transfer system in the world? Where is it coming from? Who did we wait for? Why does Africa need to wait for anyone? Let me not even talk about Estonia. I'm not going to answer that question. Answer yourself. Africa needs to come out of this mentality of waiting for another nation to do it. We are not dumb people. Kenya has brains. We don't need to wait for you. It's like now I'm saying I want to be married, but I want to wait for you first to be married.
Let me see how Dennis...
Let's see how you... It doesn't make sense. So it's time for us to embrace these realities. We can curb a lot of money laundering. We can curb a lot of debts. We can change the system, because if you are able to vote, you are able to go and verify these votes came from here. Then we even make the work of the head of IBC chair irrelevant to that degree. It's just formal, but we already know by evening this is the person. That's how we change our nation.
As you talk about this blockchain technology, the simple understanding of it is once a file has been keyed in, there is a duplicity and multi-million duplicity of these files that it cannot be hacked.
It cannot.
I don't know if this is the time that we just see how this system works,
for sure,
just so that we understand what it is we're talking about. You know, what you showed our EBC, what it is you expect to present in Parliament, and what Kenyans, perhaps, if agreed upon, would be interacting with. So,
yeah, sure, we'd love to look into that. I think maybe just important as we prepare to do that, because it's for us to see the practicability of it, is for the explanation as to why it cannot be hacked a little bit, clearer, John.
Okay.
That what is this process that you go through that will ensure that there will not be mice in the system, essentially, who are gobbling up.
I'm going to allow my friend to come on board shortly, but let me give it a layman's point of view.
Yes.
Now, I want you to look at this, my sister. This is a phone. Okay? And this one I'm actually saying to the people that argue without understanding.
Yeah.
This is a phone. Think about it as a block.
Yes.
This is one block. This is another block. And assuming this is another block.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's visible. Now, if you connect blocks together, what do you form? A chain of
blocks.
Hence the word
blockchain. Yes.
So what does that mean? Let's say I do a transaction on this block here. If I transact from this one block, because of the chain that block, the chain of it, that transaction cannot be only stored on one block, which is one computer. The ripple effect of that reality goes to as many computers as you can think globally. Let's say 100,000 computers or 1 million computers. Any chain that block is found on, that ripple effect is replicated on that. Now, in order for you to change that reality, you will need to find all those computers. You need to find where that. The question I would like to ask you, is that even a possibility? Maybe it routed to China 4,000 blocks. It routed to Russia 1,000 blocks, for example. It routed to Kenya 13,000 blocks.
Yeah.
So how is it possible unless you are Jesus?
But then can you change the original? Can
It's
you
not
change
possible.
the mother? Because it came from somewhere, didn't it? And that's what usually folks are going to fiddle with. The very first thing that went in is what people will change. These are the questions, John, folks are asking.
Good.
What if somebody would want to fiddle with the mother information?
Okay. Now, when I started speaking, I used a very specific word. Decentralized.
Yeah.
That's a very, very important word.
Yeah.
There is a difference between centralized system and a decentralized system. What does that mean? You have built this system. We have all agreed that this is a system.
Yes.
You place this system on that block network. Once you surrender the system there,
To the network?
there is no way anyone can tamper on that system.
Why?
I'll repeat again.
So
the reason is because, and he's going to come in and add on this. This is a system. This is a block.
Yes.
We have put the system here. We have all agreed that this is a system we are using.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We put this system, it's now a blockchain. We have added it on the chain of everything that is existing on that block.
Yeah.
So if we want to change anything, because we've surrendered it there, if we want to change anything on that system, the ripple effect of everything that is hosted on that system, we have to find this one and this one. It's a whole block. It's like, you know the way you have a chain. You realize a chain is not just formed with
one loop.
With one loop.
Yeah.
So you need to find all those loops because it's existing in a block. It's existing in a blockchain, not a block.
Yeah.
It's a whole chain. So if you're going to change anything there, you need to find all those little loops. And it's not a possibility. This is why from 2008, blockchain cannot be hacked. Have you ever heard of that word? It cannot be hacked. Reason is because the security of that block is not existing by itself. It's a whole centralized system of chain, whereby if you want to change this, you have to find what it's connected to, and find what it's connected to. It's not a possibility.
John, let me get it. So as we talk about the system itself is the mother block, if one would say that.
Wonderful.
That means if any other information is keyed into the mother block, the ripple effect is the same as the original.
Is the same as the original mother block.
So that means for you to change these, you need to find 1 million plus blocks, and any information that you key in as well goes to other million
replicated
plus blocks.
And that's where the security comes in. So other than a centralized system where everything is stored on this computer. So if I can access this computer, I can change. But now in a blockchain system, nothing is stored on one.
Everything is stored everywhere.
Everything is decentral. Now do you understand the word?
Right.
Decentralized.
Okay. So it'd be good for us to take a look at how this works.
Okay.
To say that if, we were casting our votes in Kenya, and for the purposes of this discussion, I don't know who's going to be president, John and Dennis, I don't know. But you'll tell us how this works so we can have a look at it.
Right.
Because what we're talking about, and it's very interesting what you said, that, why do we have to wait for somebody else to have done it for us to see that it can work? We can actually be the pioneers, and that's the thing that we're all pushing for, especially for Africa, that we can be the pioneers of something and say, look, this thing works, solve problems for years to come. Let's have a look, see what it looks like.
So this is my friend Jesse. Jesse, please take a shortest time possible and let Kenyans know.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to be doing a demonstration of the blockchain voting system. So what we have here is a video of the demonstration we actually did while we were presenting the system to the Electoral Commission, that is the IEBC, and other organizations on that day. So basically, the system is built to be able to facilitate each and every step of the election process, from from the registration process of both the candidates and also the registration of the voters. So we are going to I'm just going to play the video, and I'll just be running it a bit fast to be able to demonstrate the exact steps needed to be shown. So as you can see here, so I'm going to hit play. Now this is the home screen, and you can see we have we have a voter or observer panel, because part of the stakeholders in an electoral process involves people who are the observers and everything, to be able to ensure transparency.
Okay, so for the purposes of this voter electoral panel is the observers that you would find at a polling station, for example.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. All they do, the observers, is observe. So they don't have any control into the system. They cannot alter anything in the system. Theirs is just to observe.
They basically have no admin rights.
They don't have Thank you. They don't have admin rights. So as you can see, these are some of the features in the system. So you can see those are the candidates on the screen. We have the president, the governor, all positions are there. Now there's a tab here on the current screen. You can see there's check voter status. It means on your device, the one you'll be using at home or at the polling station. The beauty of this system is that though we're making it available on devices, it is also accessible at home.
So I can vote from home?
Yes, and you can also vote at the polling station, because not everybody has a device. So that doesn't mean they don't vote this way. They can come to the polling station.
It's a simple question, even as you go towards that. Then how would the system indicate that I voted from home and someone voted at the polling station?
Well, you see, what happens while voting is this: each device registers as though it's a polling station, right? So what happens is, once you vote at home, whether you vote at home or at the polling station, the effect is the same. The transaction rate's the same. It's like you send money here or you send money in the bank. It's still the same transaction. And also, once you vote, the system bans your identity. It means you cannot re-access the system again to vote again.
Okay.
I think you need to repeat that point.
Yeah, it's very important, actually.
Repeat that point.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's called, in blockchain infrastructure, you can mint and ban. So at the point of registration of a voter, we mint a cryptographic token that is your identity. All right?
Like
Now,
your fingerprint in the system?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And it has
We like to use those words because you know we're not as sharp as you,
Yeah.
so you might need to dumb it down a little bit for us. So
Fingerprints.
That we can, okay.
That is your
The
ID.
fingerprint is your
Can't
ID
change.
in the system.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what happens, once you mint it, it has an expiry date. It means not that it will expire, it only expires after use. That's why it's only usable once. So the system registers that I have voted, and so it destroys that token.
It's like a burner phone. I use it once and then it's gone.
And then it's gone. It's no longer valid on the system after voting. However, its effect, which is the vote, remains. Now that's the proof that you voted.
Okay.
Now we are talking about let me just maybe clarify.
Yeah.
It's a decentralized system. Unlike a centralized system, if I wanted to hack this building, I just find the central servers and I can access every database here. But with blockchain, it means the transactions are linked, the way he was saying, the loops, right? They are linked to each other. So it means if in blockchain, there is what is called compute